Hello and welcome to the Antimicrobial Resistance Implementation Toolkit developed by the California Department of Public Health. In this video, we will cover the algorithm for reporting isolate results from an invasive source for antimicrobial resistance. This diagram outlines the sequential set of steps for AR reporting. It starts with the collection of all isolates for each patient in the last reporting period. The isolates are then filtered until only organisms specified by NHSN remain. Then, the eligible isolates are grouped by invasive and non-invasive sources, each of which have their own distinct set of filtering rules. If there are still multiple isolates for a patient collected on the same day, then a deduplication step is applied. This ensures that only meaningful isolate results are reported to NHSN. This video assumes we have collected the eligible isolates and have them grouped by the source. Let's look at the rules required to report an invasive set. An invasive AR event is recorded for each eligible organism isolated from blood or cerebrospinal fluid. It is reported for every patient and filtered using the 14-day rule, which is applied across calendar months. For each patient, the 14-day rule is a rolling period that starts on the first day a specimen is collected. It only applies to specimens collected within the specified locations by NHSN. It is only counted against specimens within the facility, and it does not count against external results. In a monthly AR report, there cannot be more than 3 invasive isolates per organism for each patient in a month. The algorithm itself is a straightforward decision process. If the eligible isolate comes from an invasive source, then the isolate is checked to ensure there are no isolates from the same organism in the last 14 days for this patient. This is a rolling 14-day period that is applied across calendar months. If there are no isolates in the 14-day period, then this isolate should be reported. Otherwise, it is considered an additional isolate and is not reported. Let's look at how this is applied against some data. Here we have 3 isolates from invasive sources for the same patient. They were collected on February 20th, February 24th, and March 16th. We know to apply the 14-day rule because they are all from invasive sources, either blood or cerebrospinal fluid. The first result is on February 20th. Because this is the first isolate for this patient, it is reported by the facility. There are no previous isolates to compare against in the last 14 days. The second result, recorded on February 24th, is not reported to NHSN. The last positive isolate was found only 4 days prior to this result, which does not meet the 14-day rule. At this point, the 14-day period is reset. The third isolate, on March 16th, is reported to NHSN because it has been more than 14 days since the last positive isolate on February 24th. Remember that each positive isolate resets the 14-day period. It does not matter whether the last positive isolate was actually reported to NHSN. To sum it up, in this case there are 2 isolates reported to NHSN. The first isolate recorded on February 20th and the third isolate recorded on March 16th. These 2 events would be reported in 2 different months because AR reports are sent monthly to NHSN. In this case, at the end of February, we only had a single isolate to report. Then, in March, we found our second eligible isolate to report for this patient, so it will be reported in the March AR report. Thank you for watching this video on AR isolates from invasive sources. Please check out our other videos on AR reporting, including the information on how to select eligible isolates, a walkthrough for non-invasive isolates, isolate deduplication scenarios, and a high-level overview of AR reporting.